Alright, we are on to red. Well, yeah, we are looking at the best red common. Maybe. A braid is a 1 and a red instant that you can choose one. Destroy target artifact or it deals 3 damage to target creature. So in this set, destroy target artifact. Now, it does kill a lot of things. Just 3 damage is always super consistent for 2 mana. Beautiful. In this set, a B. Not even a B minus, I think. I mean, how many? How many really good artifacts are there? I mean, there are enough. There's some craftings, uncommons. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be. Man, I don't know. I kind of want to give it a B minus. But in this set, it's a B. Usually, I give it a B minus. In this set, I think it's a B. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's gonna go down. But it's just incredible in this set, and it's always good. But in this set, it's better.
Ancestor's Aid. By the way, do you need? Okay, I need a couple clerical housekeeping to do.
What?
Do you intend to finish the set review today?
Well, let's see how it goes.
Oh, so you'll see. I think we can. I think we totally can. And second of all, I have to use the bathroom.
You have to use the bathroom?
Yeah. Can we take like 2 minutes or 3 minutes?
2 minute pause. Seems fine. Seems fine. I'm gonna get my water.
I'll be right back.
Alright, guys. Gonna see you in 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm also gonna get a water, so I don't have to do it later. See you in 2 minutes, everybody. Let me just see. Wait, what did you guys say about blue and black comparison? Yeah, black is definitely not an aggro color. I agree with that. There's plenty of 1, 2 blue, black, and black mill options. Yeah, blue, black can mill. Exploring is really good for milling as well, just because you surveil. If you don't want a card, like, it's worth it in your graveyard for for enough things. Did we clarify for chat the amount of caves in the packs? Specifically, that they replace the basic land most of the time. No, and I'm not even sure how many... they don't replace it every time, right? Can somebody pull up like the info on that? Because still I don't really believe in the cave deck. If I'm correct, the caves don't always replace. 70% of the time. Okay, 70% of the time. Well, I still don't care because the problem is like the cave. I don't think it's important because the cave payoffs are bad. They're not like Guildgate payoffs. So I think that is a problem. That's the main problem. You can have all the caves you want, but if you're not gonna have enough things on common, that's a pretty big problem. Maybe I'm wrong. We're gonna see, but I don't care. Like the lifelinker is actually decent, and making a lot of bets is decent. But those are uncommons, right? I think those are uncommons. Let me see. What is the common thing? There is nothing. There is nothing. So I don't know. And they're not as good as again Guildgate stuff on uncommon. Okay, see you guys in a second just to get some water. Scott is not here yet? Ooh. Guys, can you tell me when are the pre-releases starting? This Friday? It's this Friday? That's when they're starting? Oh yeah, okay. Well, Scott is not here. Let me apply for the pre-release then. Oh man. Haven't been to the last pre-release. I usually always go to one. I wanna play with a set as soon as it's out. Oh hey Scotty. Okay, let's go. Are you going to... Oh, no, you're never going to pre-releases, right, Scotty? I'm going... I just asked the chat and it's like this Friday, so that's really good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm off it. Ancestor's Aid. 1 and a red. For 2 mana for an instant, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Create a treasure token. I was only made aware that this was a functional reprint today. I actually forgot. I completely forgot about Sudden Breakthrough in Strixhaven. Forgot about it. That was nothing in that format. This is everything in this format.
It's
This is
different.
way better.
It's different.
Way better. That's Strixhaven. Treasure is just mana, I think, right? In this set, treasure token is a real resource. That's like a real flexible resource. I think this is infinitely better. I think this is a very strong combat trick. +2/+0 and first strike until end of turn. That wins a decent amount of combats, right? That's pretty good at pushing through damage. That's pretty good at double spelling. It's pretty good at leaving something behind to tap for your aggressive tappers. To sacrifice, if you actually want to be interested in that, or have an artifact into the battlefield. Big fan of this card, C-.
I'm on a C- as well. And I definitely agree. Like, you can do things with treasures in this set that is not just mana. Rakdos, I think this is gonna be pretty good in Rakdos. So, yeah. I like this one a lot. Not Trample? Ah, come on. Next up, Brazen Blade Master for 2 and a red. It's a 2/3. And if you control... when it attacks. When this thing attacks while you control 2 or more artifacts, it gets +2/+1. So it's a 4/4. Why C-? Because it's a trick. Like for non-broken tricks. Trick is a conditional thing, right? Let's get a little bit back to this one. So trick is a very conditional thing. Like you need, unless you're gonna kill the opponent, which doesn't happen that often, you need creatures to get into combat. You need the opponent to block usually, because it's very, very risky to use tricks on the defensive, because opponent has open mana. When you're attacking, you need them to block, and you need the trick to, well, do its job, right? You need to get that card worth of... You need to get a full card worth out of it. So it is conditional. So you can't just like take a billion tricks and then say it's gonna work out. Okay. This one? I mean, 2/3 is pretty bad. On the defense is pretty bad. But I mean, if you're consistently gonna have this... I don't know. Could this have been just a 4/4?
Like it could have been.
I mean, I think it would be fine. Like if it was like... if it didn't have to attack. But if you're super aggressive like this, it has a lot of stats.
I don't think... Okay, I'm gonna... It doesn't really matter. Game design hats don't really matter here, but I think that would make controlling Izzet decks maybe too strong.
Yeah, this
like I don't want to reward iceberg gamers by giving them a defensive 4/4.
Or an aggressive, like yeah. It's not just that. Like when you have a 2/3 for... I mean, it's pretty good if you're aggressive. Like, the red had some really good aggressive stuff as well. I'm kind of okay with a C for this one. I usually hate 2/3s for 3. But I think it's gonna work out in red.
Yeah, I think this is pretty powerful. C- though.
Okay. I feel like it's maybe gonna go down, but no. Okay.
Burning Sun's Cavalry. 1 in a red. For a creature human knight, it's a 2/2. When Burning Sun's Cavalry attacks or blocks while you control a dinosaur, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. For any of those keeping score, this is strictly better than Tilinali's Knight, because it triggers on blocks. Tilinali's Knight was only attacker. And that's actually pretty big game. Yeah. Pretty big game. This is a high quality premium 2-drop in my opinion for a dinosaur deck. Attacking as a 3-powered creature, big game. And the fact that it can actually play defense now that if you're behind, once you drop a dinosaur, big game. I actually think this is a C+.
Okay, so this is the only tribal archetype in... Like, the only tribal thing is dinosaurs, basically. Like, pirates, not that much. Like, if you're going, like, real tribes, like, the types, the creature types. So the dinosaur tribal does exist. This is, like... Red doesn't really have that many dinosaurs. It has, like, some 5-drops and 6-drops, which is kind of okay, which are fine-ish, but nothing special. It has the 4-mana 4/3 menace, which makes something else have menace. which is not that bad in an aggressive deck, and I think red can be pretty aggressive. It's also an artifact for that deck, which red aggressive decks like artifacts. But you kind of need to be green, I think. In the end, you're getting like a 2-mana 2/2, so that's not the end of the world. You do want to be green, I feel like because there's a really good dinosaur for 3 mana, there's a fine one for 4, there's a really good one for 4 mana, there's I like the 6-drop, I'm okay with the 7-drop as well. I'm okay giving it a C+, like how I pick it, and gonna change my deck a bit around it if I have enough. I'm okay with this, I'm okay giving it a C+. But it definitely goes down, like in Rakdos, it goes down in blue, in white, like you're not gonna have, like you really want to pair it with green. Do you want to give a ceiling to this?
Yeah, I was about to say, this is a powerful card, but I also agree that, you know, like you could play Boros dinosaurs and stuff with like the Tapper dinosaur and stuff in old Ixalan. You can't really do that here. A lot of slots are taken up by gnomes, hilariously. I'm okay giving this like a C- even and C+ ceiling.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna give it a C, and then C+ ceiling seems fine. But this is really good in a Dino Tribal. Like this is if you're Gruul, that's gonna be the thing. Child of the Volcano for 3 and red. It's a 3/3 trample, and in the beginning of the end step, if you descend at this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this thing. No. I don't think so. So many things are competing for a 4-mana slot in a lot of colors that just don't. This just doesn't make it. I think it's a D.
So me personally, right? I've read the card, like I read through the spoilers a couple times, but I only like really combed through them on a fine-tooth comb for the first 3 colors. I haven't seen, admittedly, I haven't seen and thought about nearly as much about red and green. But now I'm officially off of Rakdos descending stuff. I'm off it.
Yeah,
this is too many whiffed commons.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The 3-drop in black needed to be good. And this card needed to be good. And without, like, we're missing such huge pieces of that puzzle to the point where, like, this archetype just seems really underwhelming. D, I'm off it.
Yeah. Glad that you are.
Daring Discovery, 4 and a red for a sorcery. Up to 3 target creatures can't block this turn. Discover 4. Oh, come on.
I mean...
Yeah. It's awkward. Do you know what's weird about this?
It goes in an aggro deck where your curve is super low.
And in an aggro deck where I want combat tricks more than normal.
Yeah.
Barf. I don't like this. This is also a D for me. I understand that you are going to die to this, and this will feel powerful at some points in time, but I don't like this card. This is a D for me.
Yeah, the problem is like you want like a good amount of 1-drops and 2-drops, and then you discover like a 1-drop per 2-drop with this. So I'm on a D as well. Hope it's I don't think I want to hope it's better. I don't like the can't block effects. I don't like that. Now Dinotomaton. For a 3 and a red, you get a 4/3 menace, and when it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gains menace until end of turn. And it's an artifact, and it's a dinosaur. So this kinda... Okay, this works with red artifact matter, aggressive things. This works with red dinosaur matters, aggressive things. And it helps you with aggression, because it gives menace. And it continues the aggression, because it has menace. So even though I don't like 4/3s for 4 mana, I really like this one. I think this, again, like this is why so many 4-drops are good in different colors that I think most of them we are gonna downgrade, and maybe we are gonna downgrade this one as well. But right now, I'm kind of okay with it. I like it. It just does everything. I'm gonna give it a C+ for red, just because it does everything that red wants from a 4-drop. But then you go into some other colors and you maybe get a better 4-drop. But this really does do everything. Gives you... Wait, okay, yeah, go.
No, I'm not going to add anything powerful, but it's I'm not giving this 4-drop a C+. It's just a C for me. It's solid. It's just really solid and does a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, but give it a C from me as well, just because there are a lot of 4-drops in different colors that I like a lot. So whenever we have, unless it's a 2-drop slot, whenever we have like 4, 5, 6 slot, where a lot of things are contending, you really don't need to pick anything that highly. But this one might be the one that red needs. Because it's the only red dinosaur that you're going to be like super happy playing. And it's also an artifact. So it really works for that aggressive game plan.
Etali's Favor, 2 and a red for 3 mana total for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature you control. When Etali's Favor enters the battlefield, discover 3. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has trample. So I'm way happier with this than the one that can't block. Just because, you know, you're not paying nearly as much up front to get your 2-drop. If this were, for example... Sorry, I just drank water. If this were, for example, 3 mana, get a bear, something else gets +1/+1, trample. That's strong. That's like a strong 3-drop. Negatives to that, you can find your combat tricks that you will be playing in your aggressive slanted deck, right? You can get blown out, and that's terrible. Imagine getting blown out. Yeah. Imagine playing this in a braid, you know, like into a braid. Like if you play a 2-drop and your opponent passes the 2 mana, you just can't cast this. You're just not going to. It's horrible. It's so bad. But I think it is playable, and I think it is powerful enough to be like, yeah, this is a perfectly fine playable for me. This is it's like a C- for me.
I'm gonna go with a D+. Again, I think red is gonna be very good at being aggressive, and I think Discover just doesn't work well in aggressive decks. And I think I would almost always rather play a 3-drop in these decks. And it's also not an artifact that red likes, so just a D+, but I can see it going down. Goblin Tomb Raider for a red, it's a 1/2, and as long as you control an artifact, this guy gets +1/+0 and has haste. Now this is the thing, like for artifacts, like it's gonna be a 1-mana 2/2 a lot of times. It's easy to have an artifact. It's later on it is gonna have haste, so I think this is a very desirable 2-drop for red, and I'm just gonna give it a C+.
You keep saying 2-drop, by the way.
Why am I always saying 2-drop for 1-drops? What the fuck is wrong with me? 1-drop, 1-drop, 1-drop. Desirable 1-drop. C+. Ah!
Yeah, this is good. This one's solid. This is so specifically when looking at how do I word this? Wizards, when they design a limited set, there's always more 2-drops and 3-drops than 1-drops, just in terms of raw quantity of design cards, which means when you find an archetype defining 1-drop, it's extremely well, it's fought over.
It's not contending with anything, basically.
Yeah, it's extremely good. So quality 1-drops are way better than they look. It's a C+ for me. Hotfoot Gnome, 2 and a red for a 3 mana artifact creature gnome. It's a 3/1 with haste, and you can tap it. Another target creature gains haste until end of turn. Sure, it beats. You know, it gets played. It attacks. It also, weirdly enough, literally can't even attack past another gnome, which is maybe flavorful. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. But also, when it's blanked, you give something else haste. Sure, I'll take it. That's fine. It's like a C- for me. It's a perfectly serviceable 3-drop.
I think it's shit. Shitty 3-drop.
Crappy gnome.
That doesn't service anybody. And...
Do you want to be serviced by a gnome?
Sure. What does serviced mean?
Nothing. Let's move on.
What does it mean, Scotty?
What does service mean? I can look at the Oxford English Dictionary to tell you.
In this context. What does it mean?
It means that you play Hotfoot Gnome, a Magic the Gathering card, a card designed by Wizards of the Coast, the subsidiary of Hasbro Inc., and you attack with it in the game to deal 3 damage.
You say what you meant, you horny boy.
I didn't say that. You said that first.
I can see it in your eyes. I know when Scotty wants it. So, Hotfoot Gnome is not good. It's crap for playing as a magic card. Don't know other things. Never been with a gnome. But it has such cute legs. It is so cute. It's so cute how it's running. It's the best. Like 3-1 haste is not what I ever want from a 3-drop, and I don't want 3-drop giving haste to anybody else. So I don't know, I mean, I think this is D-. I think this is just, you don't want it in any deck. I think you don't want this in any deck. There's a D-.
That's wild. If you're an aggressive deck, I don't hate putting a 3-1 haste in my deck. That's just not even that bad.
I hate it. I don't like putting 3-2 haste in my deck. In an aggressive deck.
Sheesh.
Long time ago, when I was a small boy, the 3-2 haste in limited was pretty good. Not anymore. It's like, no. And 1-1 trades with any 1-1, and there are 1-1s, and it trades with anything that was smaller and explore the land. Blah, 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 blah. It trades with anything black, like that's small, like the 1-1 that makes you exile.
That's true. That is terrible. That is awful.
A lot of those things that I'm just talking about are not gonna be tapped attacking. They're very small. This is garbage.
Play or draw, they're going to be there. Yeah.
Idol of the Deep Kings. Wait, you gave it a C-, and I gave it a D-.
Now go down to D+.
Ah, okay. Still a big difference. Idol of the Deep Kings. For 2 and a red, it's an artifact with flash, and when it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. Okay. You can craft it with artifact for 2 and a red. And it becomes the X. Becomes like an equipment that you can equip for 2. It gives +2 +so. But when it enters the battlefield, aka when it's crafted, you can attach it to a creature you control. So 3 mana deal 2 damage as a flash is not good. This is an artifact, so that can matter. That can definitely matter. For 3 more, that's like 6 in total. It is an artifact that is gonna make you better at attacking. That's a lot of mana. But I think in red aggressive decks, it's gonna be kind of fine to have one. But I also think it is gonna be so easy to get one of these. So I'm just gonna give it a D, and I think you do want one. In like hyper aggro red decks. But again, I think it's so easy to get one.
Why do you want one in hyper aggro red decks?
Like,
Like,
if
what do
you
you?
I think your curve ends on 4 in hyper aggro red decks, and you just have like maybe Dino or 2 in those hyper aggressive red decks. Like you have a ton of 1-drops, 2-drops, 3-drops, and then they just like pushes damage, like kill something, and you can also.
Why don't you just play a combat trick? Why don't you just play ancestors, whatever?
Now, this is like
Treasure
a top end. This is better than like you have those tricks to give you the mana, and this is like a top end for your decks.
Weirdly enough, I'm giving it a higher grade than you. I'm giving it a D+, but I think that it's really easy to pick up.
Okay, yeah, it is very easy to pick up. Where do you want it then if it's not aggressive decks, man?
I really do think that 2 toughness can kill a lot more in this format than normal, and
Okay.
it's normally 2 power or 2 damage, garbage. In this set, 2 damage, eh.
Okay, okay.
It's upgraded from garbage to eh.
Okay, great. I'm gonna search Rifle now.
Panicked Altasaur, 4 and a red for a 5 mana creature dinosaur with reach. Has tap. Panicked Altasaur deals 2 damage to each opponent. This is fine. This is fine. I am not super desperate for this, but it's perfectly acceptable. Like, has something that can sit on the battlefield on a stalled board and tap to deal 2 damage. We've literally seen this effect at flipped power toughness, and I think this power toughness is better. I prefer the 5 toughness rather than the 5/4 Onake Ogre or whatever. I'm perfectly fine with this as a 5-drop, but I'm not super. I don't need a 5-drop that badly. C-.
Yeah, I don't care about this as a 5-drop, and I don't think you need it. But this might be like help you out if you have enough 2-drop dinosaur lovers. So I'm on a like D+. Could be like a D. I don't. There are enough flyers, I guess, but I think red wants to be aggressive, and this thing just isn't aggressive enough. Like the stat line, sure, it can deal some damage, but we had like this Onake Ogre or whatever the name was. Was it Onake Ogre? Like the
Yeah, Anake Ogre, I think. I think this card's better than Anake Ogre.
5/4. It is
Yeah.
dinosaur, so that kind of matters. I just don't think that. Man, I'm gonna give it a D. Like, I don't think you put this in. I don't think you put this 5-drop in any red aggressive deck, and I think basically every red aggressive deck is this.
I'm okay with it.
Basically, any red deck is aggressive deck. I just don't think you put it in. What do you want to say?
I'm fine with it. I'm fine putting it in.
At
I'll play a
what?
5-drop.
Oh, you're fine putting this as your 5-drop.
Yeah, I'm fine. Happy enough.
Okay, I'm gonna D. I don't think you want this as your dino build. Like, in a dino build, I think you want green dinos. Alright, Plundering Pirate for 2 and a red. It's a 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, you create a treasure token. C+. C+. Better stat line than a 2/3, I think. It gives you artifacts for your aggressive artifact things. It gives you artifact to sacrifice. It gives you a treasure if you want to ramp into something. So yeah, C+. I think this is amazing.
Yep, really good. Really good 3-drop. Are you really? In your hyper aggro red deck, which you literally just said you think all the red decks are aggro. Are you really putting this card in your deck over Hotfoot Gnome?
Yeah. Gives me an artifact that my red aggressive decks want. And
Okay.
I can curve out better, faster.
When you also said that your curve ends at 4. Okay.
Makes it more
The
consistent.
defense rests its case.
I hate 3/1. 3-drop haste or whatever.
Rumbling Rock Slide, 3 and a red for 4 mana for a sorcery. Rumbling Rock Slide deals damage to target creature equal to the number of lands you control. Clunky. But plays an important role in red that just kills any blocker. I'm okay with this. I think this fills a role in the format for this role of clunky removal in a certain color, right? We've seen that with Ray of Blast to Oblivion or whatever in black, right? This is that sort of same role. Something that is clunky, something that you put in your deck because you need to remove something large, you know? And you don't really care how much money you spend for it. This is C- for me. I think this is fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with this as well. C-. Kills things, 4 mana, sorcery. Yeah, it's fine. Fine removal if you need it. Seismic Monstrosaur for 4 and double red. 6/5 trample for 2 and a red. You sacrifice a land to draw a card. Mountain cycling for 2. Alright, 6/5 trample for 6 is nothing special, but it can mountain cycle if you need it. It's a dinosaur, I guess, and it does give you the late game. Right? It does, like, you play your 6-drop and then you start drawing cards from lands. So I don't think it's end of the world if you play this. So I'm on a D+. I think it's fine. The effects are fine,
That's fine. D+.
but nothing special.
Yeah, nothing special. It's fine.
It's fine.
What was this card? This was Seismic Monsters for. I'm a little far behind, sorry. With this spreadsheet.
Yeah. Next up we have the torch.
Sunfire Torch, red for an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has whenever this creature attacks, you may sacrifice Sunfire Torch. When you do, this creature deals 2 damage to any target. Equip 1. I do not like the card on this text. I don't. I don't like that effect doesn't give toughness. I don't like sacrificing this to deal 2 damage. It makes me feel bad. I think it's important. I think this card's important. I think this card's actually pretty good. So I think this is like a C-, and I do think that you would play multiples, right? That's like a big thing for grades, right? I would pick up multiples of this to put in my stupid Goblin Tomb Raider deck. So I think this does enough where this is a reasonable card, but I'm not happy about it. I would be super stoked. Like, this is the card. This is the card. That if this card were a little better, I'd be like all in, you know, move all in into the archetype. Like I'm first picking Goblin Tomb Raider, you know, because I know I can pick up my Sunfire Torches. But C-.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like +1/+0, why not? And deals 2 damage to any target if you need to kill something. It's an artifact. I'm gonna C. I think this might be important. I think this might be a C plus.
I think this is important.
So, but you gave it a C minus.
Yeah, it's because it makes me sad, but maybe I'm being emotional.
Why it's sad? Why, because it's like +1/+0?
It's I think it's really close to just being like the best red common. I think it could be, you know.
The best red common C minus? How does that work?
Sorry. A braid exists. It'll never beat a braid.
Okay, but so
Yeah, it could be really good.
like if you get enough 1-drops and if you get enough 3-drops even that are going to be 4/4s, that's really good. And then like you get the dino again, so you can kill their smaller things, so the menace matters more. I like this a lot. I'm gonna be C, and I can see this going to C plus. I can see this being one of the most important red cards. I can see myself being wrong by giving it a C. I think that might be too low.
This is good. It's good.
It's also to any target, so this can easily be that. Okay. Next up, Sunshot Militia. For 1 and a red, it's a 1/3. And it has an effect, tap to untapped artifacts and or creatures you control. Equipment is free tap. This thing deals 1 damage to each opponent, activate only as sorcery. I mean, in Boros, this is gonna deal a lot of damage. In Dinosaurs, it's shit. Having these, it's not trash. If you're like aggressive red deck and then you just need to push the damage, this is gonna be like you gathering. Opponent's gonna have to remove it. Because this can deal like with artifacts and treasures, like red has good treasure makers. 2 common good treasure makers. It has a good equipment, which is a free tap every time. It's very good at aggression. You pair it with white, you get even more bodies. So I don't think you want a ton of these. Maybe in the right deck you want a good amount, because I want to have like things that pressure the opponent, and then these like can finish the game as well. Sorcery speed it makes it so it's not completely broken. This would be
I feel like everyone always says complains about sorcery speed, but these cards would be busted in half.
Yeah, this would be like absolutely broken. I think that you don't have to fight over these. I think you gotta fight over the aggressive cards in red more, and then you just pick these up. But I think it's pretty good it's gonna be pretty good in red. I'm gonna give it a C. I can see it going down to C minus because I feel like you don't have to fight for this, and you gotta take other red cards higher. But
Quick thought experiment aside. Take away the sorcery clause. What grade?
Grade it without sorcery?
Yep.
A B?
B minus. Yeah, I agree.
Like a B, yeah.
Okay, what'd you give it this time?
C.
I think it's a C minus. Yeah. For the exact reasons that you said. I don't think you're gonna need to struggle to pick 1 or 2 up.
I just think that it is gonna be very, very desirable to have 1 or 2 of these. I don't think you're gonna have to fight for them, but it really depends. Like if you're in a higher level pod, maybe you do have to fight for them.
Makes sense. Tectonic Hazard, red. For a sorcery, Tectonic Hazard deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature they control. I would like to give this a D minus with the sideboard grade.
Sounds good. D minus and a sideboard grade. Volatile Wonderglyph. For 1 and a red, it's a 2/2 artifact creature. When it becomes tapped, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. Now this might be the thing that you want like in your Boros decks. Like you get an artifact for aggression in red, and you get looting effect, which you don't really have in those decks. And you just go super low curve. And then you can tap it with like a few things, I guess. So I do think that this is fine. But I don't think that, again, you need to fight over this. It's still a common. We have other good red commons. I think it's a C minus.
Okay, I also think it's a C minus. I'm not super jazzed about attacking on turn 3 and looting or rummaging. And I certainly don't want to be tapping this at any developing stage of the game with any ability, because I don't want to be tapping with 2-drop for that. That's like a high cost.
No.
I'm also in a C minus, but it's you know, it's not a D because I think it's a serviceable 2.
Yeah. We're on the uncommons in red.
Can you read the first one? I got a Scryfall.
Belligerent Yearling for 1 and a red. It's a 3/2 trample dinosaur. And whenever another dinosaur enters the battlefield under your control, you may have this guy. Oh, you may have this guy's base power become equal to that creature's power until end of turn. Which is pretty good. Like 2 mana, 3/2 trample is just good on its own. It's a dinosaur, which red might want for the 2-drops. And it can just get better than that. Like 2/3 with a really nice upside and basically the only creature type that matters, subtype. Love this. B-, I think. I like this. Really works with red. Red really doesn't have dinosaurs that doesn't cost much. So yeah, B-.
What's the curve actually look like that you're getting a ton of value off of this? Like, what's the actual free
Just
drop?
make it a little bit bigger. But I really like the type.
You like the type, mostly the type. Okay. Yeah, because of the type and because of how not rare, but like I think it is an important type. It makes me really want to bump it up a grade. But I'm gonna start at a C+. You're on a B-, I'm on a C+.
Yeah, I can see it being a C+.
Calamitous Caven, 3 and a red for a sorcery. Calamitous Caven deals X damage to each creature and each planeswalker, where X is the number of caves you control, plus the number of caves in your graveyard. Throw the hands in the air and say, I hope I'm wrong. I'm giving this an F.
F. No ceiling, because I don't believe in this cave deck.
No ceiling.
And I mean...
I hope I'm wrong. It's an F.
Yeah, I hope a little bit I'm wrong as well. The best like cave thing is... the vampire flying vampire maker, and this kills those things. So I don't know. Curator of Sun's Creation for 3 and a red. It's a 3/3. Whenever you discover again for the same value. This ability triggers only once each turn. I mean, how many things are you discovering with? Okay, so on common level, what do you have? You have like the black bad 5/2. You have the red bad 5-drop that things cannot block. And then you have like a fine thing, I guess, in red, +1/+1 discover 3. In green, what? You have like return something. There are
that card's a common?
What?
That card's a common. Regrowth for 5 is a common.
Wow, that is a common. I just realized that now.
Oh my gosh, Super Copper is gonna be so good.
Oh, there are 2 common things in green as well. There is new discover. Wait a second. Oh, I can't wait to get to. I mean, there is lands. There is lands, right? There is lands. I think this hurts that it's a 3/3 for 4 mana. But I do feel like it's a trap, yeah. It's good with lands, right? But then it's red and it gives you the late game. I think I'm on like a D+ for this one. What do you think, Scotty?
I am also on a D+. It's a 4 mana 3/3. It's clunky, has to live. You have to not want to block with it, and it's not statted to survive combat. So,
what if this was like a 2/5?
I'd be way more into it.
Same, way more into it. But then again, like red
more into it.
Red is not happy with 4 mana 2/5s. And again, 4-drop slot is very contested, I think. Ooh, we got a pickaxe. Skara.
Sorry, I have lost.
I can do it. Diamond pickaxe. For red, you get an indestructible equipment that has cost of 2 to equip. And equip creature gets +1/+1, and it has, whenever this thing attacks, create a treasure token. Hell yeah. I think pickaxe was better in terms of... Sure, it needed to connect, but 1 mana is so much different to equip. It is so much different. Oh, I love the pickaxe. I was on a pickaxe train like the moment Kaldheim hit, basically. Like it was the first time I drafted, I was like, "Fuck, pickaxe is everything."
What happened to the branding, man? Why did you let Vincent take that from you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, how'd you do that? What happened?
You
Come
know,
on.
I actually...
Stay on top of... That's it.
Let's see. I was
Yeah.
when I said this, I was thinking like, I got it sooner. I got a pickaxe sooner. It's my thing. But he was the pickaxe man. I don't know. Probably might be that he's a more popular streamer, so like quite a good amount. So that does help. But I'm sure that I was the out of the people that I was watching that I got the pickaxe first, which is a huge achievement and should probably be in my portfolio whenever I send anything.
You just need a lesson in hyperborology, and I think you'll do better next time.
What do you mean? What I understand, but about what?
About your social media. You just gotta post a picture of pickaxe and be like, "This is the best comment in the set,"
Ooh.
and then I think you'll win. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I never do that. Okay, I should do that. I
Should.
yeah, I should. Why am I
No,
not doing
I'm
that?
not even joking, by the way.
The creations, we creations are not very used to Twitter. Like it doesn't like come into my head like, oh, I should post this on Twitter because it's an interesting thing, and like it's just I gotta wire my mind differently. It's like the creations don't use Twitter, like they just don't. Basically nobody. Yeah, I mean this is fine because it always gives you something. It is an equipment. It does cost 2 to equip, which is a lot. Like you pay 3 mana and you get 1 mana back, so that's like you still paid 2. And every time you equip, it's never gonna be free. So it's not as good as pickaxe. This is not as good as Kaldheim pickaxe. I don't think it's great. I think I'm just gonna give it a C.
Ooh, I was wondering if we're gonna fight about this. I was also on a C, because I think this is like not just worse than pickaxe. I think it's way worse than pickaxe.
Way worse than
I think
pickaxe.
way worse than pickaxe. I think it's comparable. Like what we are saying right now with our grades, this is comparable to the torch, and I think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
This has a higher upside in terms of making extra treasures to tap and banking treasures, right? I think that's an upside. And I think it's worse in any deck that is trying to close out the game by like turn 5.
So I also think that artifacts and treasures mean more in Lost Caverns of Ixalan than in Kaldheim, but I also think that equipment meant way more in Kaldheim. So it's not like it doesn't even have that going for it. In a Ragdos Sec deck, this could be pretty cool, right? If you can always get treasures for your 4-drop, that's pretty cool. Kaldheim had runes, exactly. And 1 mana to equip is huge difference. Like, this is pretty cool with Ragdos. So, it's C, but I think it's gonna be better in some decks. Next up.
We're talking about Dowsing Device.
Let's
Dowsing
go.
Device, 1 in a red for an artifact. Whenever Dowsing Device or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, up to 1 target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. Then transform Dowsing Device if you control 4 or more artifacts. It transforms into Geode Grotto. It taps for red and has 2 in a red, 3 mana, and tap it for until end of turn. Target creature gains haste and gets +X/+0, where X is the number of artifacts you control. Activate only as a sorcery. So, I do not want this, really. I don't really want this in my hyper-aggressive aggro red deck, which is where it seems like it would fit. Because I don't want to just be necessarily dorking around with this in 2 mana. Like, even if I understand I can double spell with it later, I don't think that the impact is high enough, right? Like, you're spending a card, 2 mana, to have something not win combat, but just trade off. And then, like, are you happy throwing your, like, 3 power creature into, like 4 toughness blocker, and then you're left with no board? Not really happy about that. I am, however, I do think this is much better. I feel like the only serviceable place in this is with gnomes and stuff like that. If you can get multiple triggers off of this in the same turn. And I think you just have to ask yourself that question. Like, how consistently can you get multiple triggers off of Dowsing Device?
You know, it's a bit...
And if the answer is... And if the answer is yes, then I think this is explosive enough. Otherwise, I don't think it is. So I think this is a D+.
So now you said that like if you can trigger it multiple times, the little bit of a problem that I have with like triggering this multiple times is that it is gonna transform. That can be a problem. The nice thing is like in that deck maybe you're playing less lands and then this helps, right? Because like playing this on turn 2 or whatever and playing those gnomes and attacking with them, that's kind of cool. It's like 4 or more artifacts. So you already got 1 here. So if you play like a 3 mana, make 2 1/1s in white, that's 4 artifacts. It's a cave? Okay. That's 4 artifacts. Now it just enters the battlefield. What do you give it?
I give it a D+. I'm not a particularly strong believer, and I don't think that it'll be very difficult to get this near last pick if you are the deck for it.
And what if you... I mean, it's kind of cool with a Dino. The 4/3 menace. Like 5/3 menace attack and giving something else menace. But then like, you slow down your turn.
Yeah, my main problem...
You do get
Okay,
treasures.
like compare this. So in that style deck, if that's your game plan, how close is this to like Boots of Speed?
I think you can count this in some decks. You can like lower the land base because of this, and then you're okay with this transforming into a land.
Or is a lot of artifacts. Like you're not trading off?
It's 3 more artifacts,
3 more artifacts, sure.
like treasure, equipment. In white, it's not that hard to make more. And then like you have the white 4 mana 3/2 that makes an artifact flyer, and then anything can get +1/+. So yeah, so you can just attack with a 4/2 flyer with haste. I think this can work in Boros. And then you also have like flyers in white, other flyers like the 1/1 Siren. That you can like just make huge later on. So I'm gonna give this a D+, but I think it deserves a ceiling grade. Like in that type of deck in Boros, I think this can be fine. And this can be like, you can treat it not really as, what's the name of the 1 mana enchantment in Ixalan, where it flips into a land.
Legion's Landing.
What?
Legion's Landing.
Legion's Landing, but you do get a body there, 1 mana, 1/1 lifelinker, and you can make more bodies. So I think it can be good. I think it can be like a C or a C+ in the right Boros build.
I'm okay with the C+ ceiling, and I will never cut a land because I have this.
Okay, I think I would cut a land. I think you can play a lot of small things, and this can help you out. And I think it can be fine to play it on turn 2 as well sometimes. So yeah, I'm okay with a C+ ceiling as well. And the D+, how highly I pick it, because I think it really works in those decks, but it's gonna be really bad in a lot of others. But it's a very cool card. I really like that it exists. Next up we have Dreadmaw's Ire. For a red, it's an instant. Until the end of turn, target attacking creature gets +2/+2, gains trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, destroy target artifact that player controls. Okay, I mean, come on. So red is looking to be aggressive already. So attacking creatures is normal. This costs just 1. This is a trick that you just use, and you can kill a good amount of artifacts. Now, some like crafted things and so on, like you're gonna have such turns where you just win the game because you play this. And there are gonna be a decent amount of turns when you are aggressive. It means the opponent has to start blocking. And it means that you're gonna be killing their guy, and you are gonna be trampling over a lot of times and just killing the artifact as well. So I mean, this is a trick that you don't have to play when opponent blocks, and you're gonna be happy with it. I think this is an extremely powerful trick, and I think I'm gonna give it like a B or a B-. I can start it as a B-, but I think it's gonna go up.
Whoa, we're not fighting about this. Fucking. Yes, I think this is a B range trick. even after our entire spiel about not rating combat tricks very highly.
Well, when there
This
is, yeah.
is actually to the point, not relevant for a conversation. Well, I guess it is. This card is actually to the point where it's. I think this is not fun.
This is too much.
I think this is too much. I think this damages the format, in my personal opinion. My uninformed right now opinion. I think this is too strong. But yeah, it's a little conditional B- for me.
There's gonna be so much tempo and damage that you're gonna get sometimes that is gonna be way too much.
Like you have an artifact creature that attacked, and then you block, and then you trample over it and kill their other creature.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Like there's gonna be so many games where this is better than a Braid.
Like the only reason why this doesn't blow a Braid out of the water is because it's conditional on cast.
Yeah, you gotta
That's
attack
it.
as well.
The effect is way more powerful than Braid.
Yeah, and it's so why is this trick rated so highly, and why I think it's gonna go higher than a B- when I play the format a bit. Is like it is not very conditional, right? You just gotta attack with your red deck. They're gonna block. That's fine. Like 2/2 trample for 1 mana. That's fine. And then like you don't have to kill them if they don't block, which you do have to do with a lot of tricks. And man, I'm on a B as well. And then you just deal 2 extra damage if they don't block, and you kill their best art. I'm on a B with this one as well. This is gonna you are gonna have to block red decks, I think. So yeah, this is wow. Wow.
Enterprising Scallywag, 1 and a red for 2 mana for a creature goblin pirate. It's a 2/2. At the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, create a treasure token. Okay, yeah, that's pretty reasonable. I don't actually think this is an absurd 2-drop. I think this is very nice. You know, I think it's nice to have. Trading off any creature, right? Rummaging, looting, sacrificing, etc. Get a treasure. Nice, not bad in all fronts. I think that the thing holding this back, and what's actually more important than the cute stuff you can do with it, is the fact that it's a bear. You know, it's a bear, rug. But this is a C+ for me.
Yeah, I'm on a C+ as well. Love this card. I don't think it's broken, but this like very nice. Very nice 2-drop. Geological Appraiser for 2 and double red. It's a 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, discover 3. Wow, wee. Hey. Okay. I mean, get it. That's good. That's really good. Hell yeah. I mean, if you do manage to hit like a 3-drop, 2-drop, or even a 1-drop, that's really good. Red is gonna have a lot of smaller things, so Discover gets worse. But this is the one. I mean, I'm gonna give it a B. If this was not red, I think I would give it a higher grade. But B for starters.
I want to give it a... Gosh. I want to give it a B-. No, it's really good. I've cast a lot of Bloodbraid Elves in my time. This is not that, but it's still very, very good. I'm a big fan. B for big fan. B- for big fan.
I mean, I'm kind of okay with a B+. Because, like, you can just draw a card from this, and it's not gonna be a land. Like, you can be... At its worst, it's 4 mana 3/2 that draws you a non-land card from the deck. That's the worst thing it can be. How bad is that?
I guess the ability to put this on the battlefield probably is about equal to the strength of something like Organ Hoarder, right?
Yeah.
So I am convinced by your argument. I'll also go up to B.
I'm B+.
Oh, you're B+?
I went up to B+.
Have fun up there. I have fun up there.
Because you just draw a non-land card from the deck. If that is like the worst possible thing that can happen. The best thing is like you get a 3-drop. I mean, you get a fucking 3-drop. That's the best thing. And this is amazing.
Yeah, that's very strong. That's very strong.
And I'm not thinking about like that 3 mana +1/+1 trample enchantment. How much did I give it? What grade?
3 mana +1/+1 and trample enchantment? What?
Enchantment 3 mana +1/+1 trample that discovers 3.
Oh, you gave it like a D+, I think.
What do you give it?
Me? I gave it a C-. You gave it a D+.
Because it's kind of fine. Like you don't care about enchantments, but and blowing out is bad. But like you can put it in your hand, so that's pretty good. But I think it's still a D plus for that one. This one is crazy.
Did you again forget about that clause when you rated Eteli's favor?
No comment.
Gold Furry Strider. It's a 4 and a red for a 5-drop. It's an artifact creature golem. It's a 3/5 with trample. Tap 2, untap artifacts and or creatures you control. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. I don't think you should be deceived. This is combat ruining. This is scary. But you have to sort of be ahead and have enough cardboard to leverage using this ability. But since you can use it multiple times, etc., like you can manipulate combat extremely.
But it's
in your
sorcery.
favor. It's sorcery, yes. It's sorcery, absolutely. But like, I mean, like, you know, like you setting up to declare attacks is also sorcery. Like, you know, you're not. I don't care about this being a trick. I care about this and your opponent no longer having any reasonable way to calculate math for blockers, like in terms of setting themselves up on their turn. I think that's good. I think that's actually quite good. That being said, like I think it's a powerful effect, but I'm still not diving, right? I'm still not like diving to pick up this card super early. I think this is a C+.
It's a 5-drop as well, and kind of stat line is nothing special. In Boros, this can do work. This can do a lot of work in Boros. You have every creature tap, deal 1 damage to the opponent. That's what it can be. Maybe even more. Things go through. Not many first strike. There is that double striker. White double striker where you do this and you put it. You may, if you have a, oh my god, you have a trample trick with that, or you make it fly or something. I'm gonna C minus because like it requires you to tap all of those things, but when you get enough treasures, enough random artifacts, this is so good with equipment as well. Like this is really good with equipment. I'm actually on C. This is really good with equipment.
This has immediate board impact.
Yeah, this can have immediate board impact. And you can do it multiple times. Yeah, I'm gonna C. Like this can be really powerful. I think it's never bad. I don't think it's gonna be bad in your red decks, like equipment and treasures. You have good common equipment, good common treasures. And then you can just do it like tap this thing as well. You can do it multiple times. It's just question is how much is +2/+0 gonna matter. Sometimes it's not gonna be crazy. But I'm okay with it. I'm gonna see. I think this is gonna be good. Rampaging Ceratops. For 4 and a red, it's a 5/4. This guy cannot be blocked except by 3 or more creatures. Very simple. Super menace. 5/4 is okay. Troll, this is not. Troll was a land as well. Now with this one, the troll
what are you talking about?
From Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I completely didn't play that set. Okay.
Oh, okay. It was a 6/5, same thing, but it had 1 mana swamp cycling. So I am just giving it. I don't like it. I don't like one big body that just works with itself as a 5-drop in aggressive decks. So I really don't like this. I'm just gonna give it a D.
I'll give it a D+. I don't think it's actually that bad if you're lacking playables to just throw this in at your 5-drop slot and you're going to play it and you're going to turn it sideways once and you'll be like, yes, this did a pretty good thing.
Okay.
Saheeli's Lattice, 1 and a red for 2 mana for an artifact. When Saheeli's Lattice enters the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Craft with 1 or more dinosaurs for 5 mana. And it flips into Mastercraft Raptor. It's an artifact creature dinosaur. It's a star 4. And Mastercraft Raptor's power is equal to the total power of the exile cards used to craft it. So crafting with more than 1 dinosaur is not super easy. So I'm going to guess that most of the time, like, I don't know, like 50% of the time, maybe 60, you're going to have only 1 dinosaur under this. So we're talking... I mean, actually, one dinosaur might just be freaking enough, right?
Yeah.
Our question, Are all of Cycler's dinosaurs? They are, right?
Yes.
Every single one.
Yes.
Whoa. Oh, whoa. And you can also just pitch your large dinosaurs. This card is strong, I think. This card is really good. It stays on the battlefield to tap, right? Filtering effect is actually not bad. I actually think Tormenting Voice is an underrated limited card in general. And they've just been giving us amazing Tormenting Voices. And then this all of a sudden can just turn into like a large beater in the late game. I am a big fan.
And it's an artifact.
And it's an artifact.
And it's 5 mana. Usually we have this on 6.
I'm actually done saying it triggers Descend and stuff because I hate the Descend triggers. I'm not even going to talk about that anymore. But yeah, this is really good. I think this is like a B-.
Yeah, B- for me as well. Tormenting Voice with like a... This is quite a big upside, like making a big creature. That is not a small upside. Like 4/4 is fine. That is not a small upside. Because Tormenting Voice is not bad itself. Plus, it's not only Tormenting Voice, it also gives you an artifact which matters for red decks. So it kind of does everything. B- seems good. Really good.
Did someone say it enters tapped? It doesn't enter tapped, it enters untapped.
No, this enters untapped.
Untapped.
Sideclaw Raptor. For 2 and a red, it's a 4/3 whenever a player casts a spell. If it's not their turn, this thing deals 4 damage to them. Okay, 4 damage is quite a lot. Oh my god, wait. 4 damage is so much.
This is the anti-Lola card.
Why?
Everything is a sorcery now.
Everything
Why is this a sorcery? Because everything has to be. Otherwise, you take 4 to the face.
It's like, oh my god. And it has a good type for red decks, for like that one card. Oh, I mean, it has a good stat line. Like 4 damage? That's so much. It makes your tricks better. It makes that like 3 mana discover thing better. A 4 is so much. I think this is a C+, close to a B-. But it works for you as well. I mean, tricks are instant. I mean, anything is instant on your turn.
The biggest, I'm translating the text box. The biggest play pattern that it's actually going to be in terms of how it actually messes up your opponent is your opponent passes a turn on like 3 mana up, looking to remove your next play. You play this, they can't. Or, I mean, they can, but like it's going to hurt a lot. It's going to hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Because like after that, your opponent gets to plan around, right? And then they can just do things to make sure that they're not wasting mana. But the biggest impact is the turn this comes into play, where you can waste your opponent's turn and mana, etc. if they wanted to remove your next thing. I think that's the biggest line of text here. And Lola doesn't care. Let's have a party. Everyone throw your light sticks up. Let's have a rave. Okay, Lola's back. Never mind. Everyone behave. I think this is a B-.
Yep, I can see it being a B-. Like, but the effect, I don't know how, if it's gonna be, if you're gonna be if you care about the effect. That's one thing. I'm not sure.
I think throwing off that first turn is big game. Big game.
Okay. Okay. But 4/3 is really good.
So like, I mean, I want to talk about the value of that, right? If your opponent is trying to hold up a braid, even a braid, something with 2 mana, and you waste that, that's a huge swing in the game of Magic. I think that's very significant if you get that to line up, right? But I guess it's a Punisher type of thing where they can just choose to pay the 4 life if that suits them. So maybe it's not as maybe I'm overstating how important that is. It's not like they suddenly can't cast it. They get to decide.
Yeah. Yeah, they get to decide. Maybe they don't care that much about 4 damage, but yeah, it could be a B- just because it's a 4/3. Like that's really good. All right.
Is it me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. Triumphant Chomp, red for a sorcery. Triumphant Chomp deals damage to target creature equal to 2 or the greatest power among dinosaurs you control, whichever is greater. I've parroted this a bunch. I like 2 damage in the set. I think as a sorcerer speed shock, that's cheap. You can double spell with it extremely easily. I'm perfectly fine with that. I think this card is actually quite good, and it just scales up whether or not you have dinosaurs. It just gets extremely strong in a dinosaur deck. If you can 1 mana delete a creature, and do you know the best part about this? Is that you can easily double spell with this. Drop a dino, delete something.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. weirdly enough, they have not worded this in a way that it prevents. Wait. Rules. I need to judge.
Mm-hmm.
Do you choose which you do? Like, what happens if they remove this with it on the stack? Does it still? It still retains the power, right? Because of the way it's worded. If you have a 6-drop, you cast this. They remove your 6-drop. It still deals 6, right? Or the greatest power among dinosaurs. Or deal 2.
It's not as you cast it.
Yeah, but it's not if you control, like why is this not last known power? It checks on resolution? Sure.
But in
Okay, that's fine.
resolution, when do you choose?
Because in my eyes, like, you're choosing which effect to do while you're casting the spell.
1 second, I gotta sneeze.
Whichever is greater. Makes sense. You don't choose. You don't choose. That's right, you don't choose. Okay.
Oh,
that's
you
clear.
don't even choose.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you don't even... Okay.
I think
Yeah,
it's really good.
oh my god, you don't even choose. So yeah, it checks on the resolution, yeah.
Yeah, it's a B-.
Can we give this like ceiling grade?
Of what? What do you want to give a ceiling grade?
B? And
Yeah, I'm still taking it as a B-.
I want to give it a C plus and a ceiling grade B, because like in a deck where you have enough dinosaurs, like this being like 4 damage a lot of times plus, is a big difference. You just 1 mana kill anything. I think it's C plus and a B. Are you okay with the B ceiling?
I'm okay with the B ceiling. And my initial grade being higher is just because I really do think that 2 damage is totally fine in the set.
Yeah, I think so too. But I would like the... Nah, it's still... Yeah, it's good. Sorcery though, but it's still good. Zoyova's Justice. For 1 and a red, it's an instant. The owner of target artifact or creature with mana value 1 or greater shuffles it into their library. Then the player discovers X, where X is its mana value. What the fuck? It's not good on your creatures, this is not good on their creatures. What is this shit?
It's probably really good in Commander.
So what do you maybe use it on some expensive artifact? Like the 6 mana artifact and you discover 6, but I don't think red decks care about it. Like you're gonna get a 1-drop or a 2-drop most of the time.
Are you arguing with me about Commander?
No.
Oh, you're talking about limited. Okay,
Limited.
no, this card is garbage.
It's so bad. Next. Okay, we're done with uncommons. Let's go.
Hold up.
Yeah?
Hold up. Sirkovitz said you can target your own artifact that already had an ETB.
I know. And it seems horrible. That seems horrible.
I do also still hate it.
Yeah, like targeting your own artifact, I think that is really, really bad. You're gambling what you're gonna do for the opponent. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's horrible if you use it for opponent. Like, that is the worst thing. Because, again, you're not getting a 1-for-1. And if you use it on your thing, you're still not getting a 1-for-1. Like, you're hoping that you have the ETB artifact. And then that you are gonna get something out of it. Like, you're hoping to not get much. Like, the upside on this is it's not good. And the normal case scenario or downside of this, it's absolutely abysmal. You just don't put this in your deck, I think. It's nice to theorycraft about this, but nothing looks great. It's just, you're gonna do cute thing. And cute thing? Well, cute things need to be good. If they need to get you like value, tempo, something, this doesn't need do either. In the best case scenario. Alright. Bone Horde. Are you reading, Scotty?
Bone Horde Dracosaur. 3 red for a creature, dinosaur, dragon. It's a mythic. It's a 5/5 with flying and first strike. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. If you exiled a land this way, create a 3/1 red dinosaur creature token. If you exiled a non-land this way, create a treasure token. This is a 5-powered first striking blocker. Extremely good at blocking.
And attacking.
Very good at blocking.
And
super
attacking.
great block. And attack. Oh yeah, great blocker, great attacker.
It's flyer.
And if they let it live, you're just gonna roll your opponent. Phenomenal. A-.
What the fuck? Oh, good it's mythic. What? Like 5 mana, 5/5 flying first strike is like... Wait, this thing draws you 2 extra cards per turn.
2 extra cards per turn.
So it's
absurd.
like 2 extra cards, and it also makes bodies. and treasures
This card's bonkers.
with those cards. Just a land makes you 3/1 dinosaur.
That's what the
And a
card
non-land
says.
makes you treasure, so you can play those things. Like land, you get more bodies, and you get a land. And you can play those cards because you get treasures. Like, what the hell is this? What do you give it?
An A-. This card's absurd.
I'm giving it an A+. Like, if this doesn't get removed right away, like, I think you just win.
That's
Next turn. It's too late to remove it next turn, I think. Because you just, like, drew 2 extra cards. You probably made a 3/1. You got a treasure as well. And you hit them for 5. And they can't attack, right? You don't attack through this. You can't block it. And it's infinite value. It's just like A+. Sometimes, okay, we had this discussion in the past. Like A+ is usually for cards that they're very close to winning you the game, even if they get removed, because they have like ETBs and shit. But this is like so damn powerful. If it gives you a ton of value, it gives you mana, it gives you board presence, like huge board presence, and it, like just by itself and with extra things. I mean, what the fuck? This must be removed, or you won the game. You just won the game. You're not an A. You're just A-.
Uh-oh. This should have been on the bingo. Are we fighting about what an A is? I ain't fighting you about what an A is.
Talking about it. Like, let me just see. Like, you gave. You think that like the Smithy is better than this? The legendary
It has
artifact?
value after you remove it. Yep. I think that 1-turn window where you can actually just trade for it as a 1-for-1 means it's an A-. I don't care about how great it is after you untap. It's gonna win you the game.
The Smithy.
No, this will win you the game when you untap. Yes.
But like the 1000 Moon Smithy gives you like way weaker thing for 1 less mana, and it's not that easy to transform for you to win the game. And it requires a bit more turns to do that.
Yep.
That's like that's better.
Yep.
There's no way the Smithy is gonna have a better win percentage on any level, like close to this one, to this shit. Like this just.
I actually agree with that statement.
How is it better than this card then?
I believe if you're playing at high level professional play,
Yeah.
the Smithy will be better than Dragon.
Wow. How? Like this survives 1 turn, it's over. That's
Yep. I think that generally good players are better at holding removal.
But that thing, like, I mean, what if they kill Smithy there? You still get
have something.
You still get good thing. I don't know, man. This is no fucking way. Oh my god. Like, how many removal even targets this? Like it's a black thing?
You're so upset, and I love it.
What the fuck is this card, man?
You're so upset. This is the best.
Like, what kills this, man?
I'm feeding off of it.
Like, what kills this? What kills this?
It's true. Actually, a huge plus is that not a whole lot of stuff actually does kill this.
Like, what
the
really-
black
what kills
removal, the black common removal for 1 is a huge thing.
Yeah, black thing removes it. Uncommon black removal. There's a green conditional deal damage spell. Come on, man! Like Jesus Christ! Yeah. The difference is not that big in high professional play. Like, don't remove it. Next turn, you can concede. You play the Smithy. So you play the Smithy. You don't remove it. There's gonna be a lot of turns before you actually win with the Smithy. This thing is basically next turn you win. You don't want to say anything. Like
You can when you see Bonehorde Dracosaur and Smithy in the same pack, you can take your Dracosaur.
Fuck off. Brass's Tunnel Grinder. For 2 and a red, legendary artifact. When this thing enters the battlefield, discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards +1. At the beginning of your end step, if you descend at this turn, put a boar counter on this thing. Then if there are 3 or more boar counters on it, remove those counters and transform it into Tekutlan, the Searing Rift. It's basically a mountain cave. And whenever you cast a permanent spell using mana produced by this thing, discover X, where X is that spell's mana value. Wait. This is worth it. Wait. This is like kind of bad tormenting voice, I think, even though you can choose more cards or no cards at all. You just play it and discard nothing and draw one card. I think it's still worse than because it costs 3 mana, but oh, but this is like you're gonna win the game. Like whenever every turn you're gonna discover. Every turn you're gonna discover. Like sure you need to have few things. No, I like this a lot. I think this is a B+. I think this is great.
Yeah, I think.
So you just need to descend 2 more times.
2 more times. So you like this that much better than Saheeli's Lattice? Okay, I do think it's better than Saheeli's Lattice. On agreement. I'll be for this.
Okay.
Breaches, Eager Pillager, 2 and a red for a 3 mana legendary creature, Goblin Pirate. It's a 3/3 with first strike. Whenever a pirate you control attacks, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Create a treasure token. Target creature can't block this turn. Or exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. 3/3 first striking for 3. Great attacker, great blocker. Can potentially get immediate board impact. That would be phenomenal. But even if it didn't, even if it only triggered off itself, this card's really good. This card is super duper strong. Big fan. I think this card is like a straight up B+.
Yeah, it is incredible. Yeah, B+ easy. Like 3/3 first strike is just great on its own. That's great. And it's a pirate. Doesn't have to be another one. Get a treasure, draw a card, can't block. Like all these effects are worth it. Beautiful. Like yeah, B+. Incredible 3-drop. Next up, Dire Flail for a red. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. You can equip it for 1. Okay. And you can craft with artifact for 3 and double red. That's 5 in total. And it transforms into same equip 1, but equipped creature gets +3/+0 and has whenever this creature attacks, you may sacrifice an artifact other than Dire Blunderbuss. When you do, this creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Wait, that's powerful. Wait, that's really powerful. Okay. So how much do we like single red? Bone Splitter X. How much do we like Bone Splitter X in red? It's an artifact. Red. What?
Sorry, was that a real question to me?
I was gonna answer it and then let you, but you can go first.
Okay, you answer.
You go first. You go first.
I like it. Go.
Just the Bone Splitter. No, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
So you like Bone Splitter X in red?
I think that's perfectly fine in this set. Yes.
Yeah. Same here. Red likes artifacts. Bone Splitter X seems fine. Not that much evasion, but yeah, this is really nice. But when you craft with an artifact, red is making treasures. You're just gonna kill things, and it's 3+3+. So you're just gonna kill things, like kill basically anything. Every time you attack with this. I mean, this is crazy when you craft with artifact. And again, amazing top end in aggressive red decks. I'm just on a B+.
B+ as well. Hit the Motherlode, 4 red, 7 mana total for sorcery. Discover 10. If the discovered card's mana value is less than 10, create a number of tapped treasure tokens equal to the difference. Yeah, that's an F. Sorry. I like this card a lot. I love it. I think it's an F. You've killed me. I think you've been trying to find a replacement since the A- fiasco.
It's an F and don't play this card ever. F and don't play this card ever. That's what I said. Why? Was I muted for a long time? Tell me, please, while I read the new card. What do you say, Scotty?
Oh no, I think if it was Discover a Billion, then maybe you could combo with the tap thing.
Sure.
And then you could instantly kill.
Yeah, that is true.
That'd be better. Anyway, Inti, Celestial of the Sun. 1 red. For 2 mana, legendary creature, human knight. It's a 2/2. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. It gains trample. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until your next end step. Whew. This is really good. This is strong. This attacks as a 3/3 and continues to snowball. And it can potentially have immediate board impact. I mean, probably not, but with your stupid Goblin Tomb Raider. This is nice. I like this a decent amount. This is like a B+ for me.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like 2/2 that... This is like, if you play it on turn 2, it's gonna be a nightmare. It's just like... You're not always gonna be able to play this. You're not... Whenever you attack... Oh, whenever you attack with anything?
With anything.
Oh... Yeah, a B+. That's pretty good, man. Any time, at any turn, that is really good. B+. Magnetic Galleon. For 3 and double red, it's a 5/5 vehicle. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage to target creature on opponent controls, and whenever 1 or more creatures your opponent's control are dealt excess non-combat damage, create a treasure token. Okay, that's really good. Like 5 mana 5/5 crew 2 is not good. But 5 mana 5/5 crew 2 that kills something and probably makes a treasure token as well is incredible. I don't think it's a bomb, but I think it's close, and I'm just gonna give it a high B+. Maybe A-.
Really? This is like... The vehicle's bad. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
And I understand slapping 2 bad things together usually means a good thing.
Slapping some of the 2 bad things together is like the best thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
and I agree that this card is very good, but...
It's like, for example...
B for me.
Like, quick example. You have a Prince Champion. Like, 3 mana 2/2, flyer is garbage. 3 mana 1/1, on the ground is garbage. 3 mana 2 to make a 1/1, best common in the set, one of the best commons ever made. In Magic. One of the best commons ever made in Magic. That's like what 2 bad things together do. This is like a 5/5 vehicle for crew 2 that is gonna kill something, probably their biggest thing, and make a treasure. Like, come on.
I think you are right, and I think I'm overvaluing the cost of Crew 2, because Crew 2 is actually not that bad.
You already
I think I'm underrating the vehicle on its face. So I think this is also a B+.
It usually makes you 2 artifacts as well if you need that.
Strong.
I can see it being A-, but let's go with B+ first. God.
Oh, it's me.
Yes. You're a god?
Ojer Axonal Deepest Might. 2 red for 4 mana total for a creature god. It's a 4/4 with trample. If a red source you control would deal an amount of non-combat damage less than this power to an opponent, that source deals damage equal to this power instead. So if you would ping something for 1, instead you ping something for 4. If you were to abrade something, you're going to hit it for 4. Oh wait, I'm analyzing without reading the card. When it dies, return to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. It transforms into Temple of Power. It's a land, and you tap it for red, and you can pay 2 in a red and tap it to transform Temple of Power. Activate only if red sources you controlled dealt 4 or more non-combat damage this turn, and only as a sorcery. This is the worst god, right? Do you agree, Lola? This god is really hard to flip back. Super hard to flip back. Super hard. Like I this is a land. This is a 4/4. This is a 4/4 with trample that dies into a land. That's what that reads like to me. And then maybe your braid is gonna get upgraded, but like not much beyond that. So I think this is like a B-. Wait, I'm waiting.
Non-combat damage from the tap 2 deal 1. End the game. Wins.
Oh.
Just wins.
Oh, that doesn't have to be a card. You're right. You can ping.
You just win if you have that 1-3.
Yeah, you do just win. You just destroy your opponent.
It's over. Like the game is over.
Yeah, that is actually over, and that's a common. Ooh, that is interesting. I'm okay with B.
What do you want to give it? And I mean, getting a land later is also pretty good. Why not?
That's fine. I'm okay with B.
4 more non-combat damage this turn. If red sources you controlled. I mean, that's also possible with that. Like, there is the torch deals damage to face. You could transform it, but I mean, because of that 1-3, like, that's game ending if you have it on the battlefield. I'm on a B as well. That is just game ending. Blue guard is 4 as well. Like, tap 2 creatures, deal 4 damage to the opponent's face. Tap 2 artifacts. Yeah, fuck that. That's so good. Poetic Ingenuity. For 2 and a red, it's an enchantment. Whenever one or more dinosaurs you control attack, create that many treasure tokens. So, whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 3/1 red dinosaur creature token? Only once, okay. Cast an artifact spell. Not that easy, always. I mean, this is kind of good. Like, if you can make 1/3/1 and then make some treasures, that's fine. But it has such a high upside. It's gotta be cast, though. There are a lot of artifacts, so that's kind of fine. I mean, C+ and a B ceiling? It does a lot,
okay
but it also does nothing when you play it. You just play like an equipment or something. There is a lot of artifacts. What do you think, baby?
I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that exact grade.
C+ and a B ceiling?
Yep.
Okay.
Trumpeting Carnosaur, 4 red, 6 mana total for a creature dinosaur. It's a 7/6 with trample. When it enters the battlefield, discover 5, and you can pay 2 in a red, 3 mana total, and discard Trumpeting Carnosaur, and it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. So you can turn this into 3 mana, deal 3, and also the body is incredible.
Jesus, yeah.
It's super duper strong. Like, when you cast this, it's absurd. That discard thing is an emergency button, and it's so nice to have. It's so nice to have an emergency button. This has almost no fail case.
There is no fail case, yeah.
This is everything. This is an A for me.
Yeah, again, the discovery is not as good in red, I think, but I mean, 7/6 trample, 6-drop is fine, whatever. But I mean, it also gives you another body or a card. You'd never... The 6-drop is so good that you basically never want to discard it, but it is huge that you can. It's like 6-drops have a fail case of you not getting to 6 and playing it. The 3 mana is really bad if you have to do it, because this is so powerful. But again, it's a 6-drop that did something. I'm okay with an A-, but discover 5 in red, I don't know how good it's gonna be. But let's go with I mean, if this thing, I'm gonna B+, because if this thing is a 7/6 that draws you a card, reveal card, like, that's fine. I don't think any of these parts is a bomb, right? You have to discard it, that's a nice fail case, but then it's like whatever. Then it's bad. Still, it's a nice fail case, but it's bad. When you pay 6 mana and draw a card, that's alright. It's fine. It's nice. When you get something on the battlefield, now that's huge. But I don't think any of this is bomby. I don't think any of these effects is bomby. You still had to pay 6. You probably got like a 2-drop, 1-drop, 2-drop in red. Maybe you just drew a card, which is way worse, way worse. I don't, like, it's a great card, but I don't see any bomby part of it. Like just
Hey
taking
Lola,
over.
I graded this card higher than the dinosaur 5/5. Are you mad about that?
That's fucking stupid, man. I'm sorry for saying it like that, but what the fuck, man? Like what the hell?
I think you should. I think you should rain it on. I think you should rain it
Come-
on. It brings life to the stream.
Like you, what should I?
Oh, you should just bring the rain. I think it brings life. To
I
the
mean, you're
stream.
gonna up the grade, right, of the flying dinosaur because of this.
I'm not.
Like this is better than the flying dinosaur.
I rated it higher.
Okay, let me make a new channel in my private channel. Scotty tier list. Things to remember. 5/5 flying dinosaur is better than trumpeting carnosaur. Okay. Also, no, it's worse than it's worse. It's worse than trumpeting carnosaur.
By the
Also
way,
worse.
I have a clip. I have a clip of you saying that this card is better than the flying dinosaur. You just said it.
No, fuck off. That's I said like Scotty's get out of here. It's like okay. I don't think stats are what you if you're aspiring to be a real good drafter, I don't think you should like it's fun to look at stats in 70 lands. It's a very good like discussion and thinking material. But if you aspire to be like really, really good, I don't think you should like follow it that much. But it's nice like to think about, oh wait, this card has a really good win rate on all levels. And I thought it was bad. Some card, not this one, obviously. Like, okay, let me rethink that. Like, why are people having success with it? Maybe I should think about it. But like, this thing is gonna have way lower win rate, I think, than when something is way off. That's different. Like, I think this thing is gonna have way lower win rate than the 5/5 flying dino, and that's a sign. And there's no bullshit like in high professional level, people are gonna.
I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit.
What do you mean?
But we can talk about that later.
What do you mean? What? Not giving myself credit?
I think you could handle a bone horde way better. You could handle a carnosaur. Because I think you're a very good player.
Well, I don't think I could because I don't always have removal. Come on! Okay. Come on!
You want to do green?
Come on, you tried to like stroke my ego to get to your side. No.
I only tell the truth.
Me being a good player, me being a very good player, whatever you want to say, however you want it to sound, doesn't mean that I'm gonna handle one of the best cards in the format better than a B+ card. No, I don't believe that, and that's not true. And that was a really good try, but no, I'm not gonna handle that thing better. Jesus, man, like it's gonna be so different. Like, 10%.
I think you could wrestle. I think you could wrestle the bonesaur, the dinosaur, with your bare hands. I think you'd tear it apart.